Highway 99. I'm stuck behind the dually on Highway 99. If you don't know what a dually is, well, look it up. It's kind of truck with multiple wheels on the back. It's got 6 wheels total instead of 4. Why? I don't know why. I don't. So I'm going straight home. I'm not going through Merced on the way home like I had planned to. Because the guy asked me to not deposit the check until Monday. So I told him, okay, fine. So I just like to keep a nice cushion. Hi, Rachel, darling. So accordingly, we'll just have to wait a couple days to go to Merced. Monday we'll go to the ATM and, I mean not the ATM, we'll go to the Wells Fargo, actually walk in the bank in Merced, and then we'll go to the dispensary to get those drinks on Monday. It's Monday. So, you know, I do have money, but I like to keep a cushion. I never know exactly what's going to come through auto pay or something. I want to keep a cushion of about $1,000, which is right about where we're at right now. So I don't have to pay. I'm supposed to pay the phone bill today, but I guess I could probably pay it on Monday without there being too much problem. I'm now at Bakersfield. I'm back over the Grapevine and on the central California side of LA/Ventura counties. This might be Kern County. I'm not exactly sure what county I'm in right now. But if you look over here, you will see lots of agriculture. If you like agriculture, you're in the right place. Welcome to Taft/Lamont. One place, 2 places, I'm not really sure. I don't think anybody knows that about Taft and Lamont. Maybe just 1.5 places. So you're going to see a sign up here that says welcome to Bakersfield. And I want you to know those words are directed specifically at you. Hopefully you can see it. Here it comes. Go. You can barely see it. Now we have on our right coming up here a Sikh temple. You can tell by the crazy golden things on top of it. Exciting stuff. I know. This is David J. Nelson Memorial Bridge. R.I.P. David J. Nelson. 8 miles to Bakersfield. But 100 miles in my heart. Alright, let's put you guys facing forward. It's like you're sitting in the car with me in the passenger seat here. Got you seat belted in even. Up here we have Panama Lane. Panama Lane. This is where you go to purchase Panama hats and canals. If you aren't buying your canal on Panama Lane, you're probably paying too much. Got a nice red Subaru in front of us. Rachel and I had a trippy experience the other day. We were at the other house waiting for the realtor to get there, and there was this blue Audi hatchback, like a blue Audi hatchback, probably 2024, 25, new. It stopped out in front of our house, and Rachel's like, "Oh, Zoe's here," and I'm like, "Are you sure?" Because I saw that lady too, and she checked the mailbox, and Rachel's like, "Oh, I didn't see that. I guess maybe not." And it wasn't Zoe; it was our neighbor. Then when Zoe did arrive, she had the exact same blue Audi as that neighbor. Same make, same model, same color, everything. It's weird. It's like that first blue Audi very easily could have been Zoe Alexander. If we had known what Zoe Alexander's car looked like, we would have been absolutely sure that was her. Despite her looking in the mailbox, I would have been like, I wonder why Zoe Alexander's looking in the mailbox. But I would have been convinced it was her if I had known what her car was. It's like the universe tried to play some kind of a trick on us, but forgot that we need to know what her car looks like first for that trick to work. You're going to see a lot of trucks, a lot of signs, roadway things, directionalities, arrows, the kind of adventurous stuff you get to see when you're live streaming on the road with Eric. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Then perhaps I'll grow another set of skin. I can't wait to get on the road again. Well, we are on the road again, as you can see. Oh, good. Construction zone. Because of all the construction that they're doing. It seems like 9 times out of 10 when there's a construction zone, there is nobody there. It's just signage. Just signage and blinking radar signage telling you, slow down. Slow down in the work zone. 55. We don't want to run over any workers. There are never any fucking workers here. You get the place where you park cones and big machines. Hey, you guys want to park our machines and cones in the middle of the freeway? Yeah, let's do it. We'll just pretend like we're doing some work. I mean, anytime we drive by, they're just going to be like, well, I guess we're just not here this time. They'll never figure it out. I figured it out, you Caltrans scoundrels. So you can just take this job and shove it. I'm going to put you back on me. So did you all take your job and shove it? I hope so. I expect my audience to follow instructions. If I say shove your job, you ask how high up my ass. As high as it will go. As high as the Eiffel Tower. What a lot of people don't know is that the Eiffel Tower is the tallest building in the world. It's not. What a lot of people don't know is that the Eiffel Tower is actually a natural rock formation. No, that's not true either, Eric. Stop lying. What a lot lot of people don't know is the Eiffel Tower is actually pronounced Eiffel Tower. You're lying again, Eric. You just stop it right now. Okay, don't stop lying. Do you have any true facts about the Eiffel Tower to share with us? Yes, I do have one. Okay, what is it? The Eiffel Tower is the only French tower made entirely of bricks. Is that true, Eric? Yes? No. You both know it's not true. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop talking about the Eiffel Tower then. Yeah, that's what I recommend since you can't seem to stop lying about it. Up next is Olive Drive, named after famed Popeye character Olive Oil. Olive Drive features a number of Popeye-themed sites and activities. I'm lying again. Sorry, everybody. I can't seem to stop lying today. Literally, pouts starting at $15 a month. You can make your lips more puffy for $15 a month. What a good deal. I've already done multiple puffing treatments. This is how big they've gotten. Think how small they were to begin with. They were just like teeny little lines. I've had like 6 gallons of Botox injected into my lips, and this is as puffy as they get. I'm sorry. I guess the adjective is pouty. How pouty are my lips? Have I just pouted the shit out of you? I think I did. I mean, Eric's cool, but he will pout the living shit out of you if you're not careful. He will. I mean, who wouldn't take advantage of such pouty lips as his? Good point, said everybody. Good point. And then I pouted them. Like that. The superhero, the powder. The powder's pouch is incredibly powerful. It makes everybody go, okay, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. What did I do? How can I help? You are clearly pouting the shit out of me right now. That's because I'm the powder. That's how the powder operates. Some people say you can't pout for a living. Well, their disdain for pouting is what created the supervillain, the Powder. I decided he's not a hero, he's a supervillain, the Powder. What's interesting is the Powder, he doesn't really actually have very pouty lips. It's one of the many things he pouts about. Maybe it's a lady. It's probably like a sex kitten type lady. And, you know, no male can resist her pouty ways. Except, of course, for our hero's stern sensibility. It says, you can stop that pouting right now, young lady. Crying about it never helped anybody. He's a good hero. What did I call him again? Stern sensibility. You want to make a joke about this? This is the real world. People are dying out there. Thanks, stern sensibility. Stern sensibility, of course, is one of multiple heroes who's on the hunt for fugitive Mayan Staptopus. Is that what his name is? I think so. Anyway, Mayan Staptopus is a Mayan octopus that has an obsidian sacrifice knife in each of his 8 legs. And Mayan Shanktopus, that's his name, Mayan Shanktopus. Mayan Shanktopus has teamed up, of course, with glide flaps. So his power is equivalent to that of the flying squirrel. They've got glide flaps, you know. There's carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a guy who was originally a villain. And his villainy was he'd come up to you and as you breathed out, he'd steal all your carbon dioxide. But now in the global warming era, he's transitioning into a hero because he can sequester so much carbon. Funny how things change over time, isn't it? Yes, I'm carbon dioxide. No, Carbon, listen. You're a hero now. You gotta stop with the evil whatever you're doing. Okay. I'm carbon dioxide. Well, that's a little better. You have to kind of like a question. I am carbon dioxide. Yeah, I know, but we want you to start sounding less evil. Well, is this less evil? No, that's the same thing that you've been doing. It's kind of a snidely whiplash thing you got going on. Well, maybe that's because I'm carbon dioxide. Alright. We'll return to this on a later date. It's just, I'm going to have to consult with Barry, Susan, and a couple other people. I'm not sure what to do with you. In the meantime, go ahead and keep sequestering the carbon dioxide. I've already stolen all of your carbon dioxide. Yeah, I didn't want it anyway. Thank you. Okay, out you go. I don't know if we can work with this guy, Barry. He doesn't seem to grasp the concept of not sounding like a villain. Okay, well, what about carbon monoxide? Yeah, he's coming in as well. But the thing is, really, he never was a villain. He just had an identity crisis because nobody could tell him for a long time whether what he was doing mattered at all. I'm carbon monoxide. I remove carbon dioxide. I mean monoxide. Hi, carbon monoxide. Is there any carbon monoxide in here? No. So you didn't remove any? I wish there was. Alright. We'll call you. Thank you, carbon monoxide. We don't have a problem with too much carbon monoxide in the atmosphere, so why would we hire this guy? Well, he's not going to give you the attitude problems the carbon dioxide gives you. He's also not going to give you any solvency. It's just global warming theater at that point. We can still apply for the tax credits. Alright, get carbon monoxide back in here. carbon trioxide. There's no such thing as carbon trioxide. Get out of here, you faker. God, it's an imitator of carbon dioxide. All these fake heroes these days. Whatever happened to good old classic American heroes like Apricot Man? Whose power was giving apricots to people or taking away their apricots. He also made a fabulous apricot preserve, and he was fine with you pronouncing it apricot if you wanted. Another old-timey superhero that they just don't make them like this anymore, was a superhero called the Surveyor, who could survey all the lines of a property without any equipment at all, just eyeballing it. That was a superpower. Now that's a useful superpower, right? There was also Train Man. He had the top half of a person, the bottom half of a train. He was cool, I guess, as a superhero, but the only problem he had was he could only go places where there were train tracks. And, you know, everybody called him Train Man, but he kept insisting his name was Locomotive Man. Obviously, that's too many syllables. We just called him Train Man. He got really bitter towards the end, but he never could get off those train tracks, so not much he could do. One of the old-timey villains was the cattle rustler. As the name suggests, he stole people's cows, leaving behind a human turd in its place. Now that not that many people own cows, he's kind of faded from relevance. Like, I don't own any cows at all right now. And sure, I could see myself at some point in the future owning a few to maybe 6 dozen cows. At the moment, I have no cows, and I've never had a cow heretofore. So the cattle rustler does not scare me at all. I am here to steal your cows. Go right ahead, cattle rustler. You can steal all of the nothing that you want. Another old-timey villain. This one dates back to circa Victorian times. She was known as the Corset, and she was a villain. She'd go to various, high society parties, and just with the power of her mind, begin to tighten all of the ladies' corsets until they couldn't breathe and were in pain. And of course, most of them already couldn't breathe and were in pain, but I mean, she made it even worse. Of course, she fell out of favor among villains once people stopped wearing so many corsets. One supervillain that I've noticed that really made a resurgence in the anime world anyway is the clothes dissolving slime. Whose slime dissolves only usually women's clothes. So yeah, he's basically needs to be on some kind of sexual predator watch list. But he says he can't help it. That's the only food he can eat is women's clothes. He'll say, well, why do you have to take them off of women while they're walking around? Why can't you just eat them, buy them from the store and eat them? And he said, you wouldn't get it. You're not a clothes dissolving slime. Which I think we can all agree is not enough of a justification. Anyway, he used to be a real threat to our American communities, but he fell out of favor as women just naturally started wearing less clothes. Now he's made a resurgence in anime, so I'm glad to see that. Not because I approve of his villainous ways, I just hate to see a super of any kind become so lost in history, irrelevant. You know? They're our heritage, our past, our history. There was Flying Man, as his name suggests. His power was that he could fly, but he couldn't fly very fast, and he couldn't really carry any load when he was flying. So it was good for him, you know, helped him avoid traffic and stuff, but as a superhero, he was more or less useless, unless you needed to pluck a flower from that high spot, and you still might as well just use a helicopter, you know. So Flying Man faded into obscurity, as did super villain Inflamed Appendix, who went around and gave people appendicitis, which then required them to make trips to the doctor. See, the thing is, he was a lot more relevant before the appendicitis procedure, medical procedure, came into being. He would, his super villainy would actually kill people, you know. As their appendix was rupturing, they die of sepsis. Nowadays, people just get an appendicitis operation, appendectomy they call it. Because my appendix is dead to me, that's what they call it, appendectomy. Anyway, I wanted to keep my appendix. When they did that operation as a kid, I asked if I could keep it. They said no. I don't know why. Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe they just didn't think giving a child a biohazard in a jar was a good idea. Maybe there's some kind of rules about you have to throw the appendixes away. You can't let the kid take it home with it. Who knows why? All I do know is that I'm in the city of McFarland. I'm almost out of drink. I'm dying of thirst. But I'll wait for a more convenient looking fast food place on the side to pull over and get a little bit more drinking food. I got a large iced tea at Jubilee. I guess this is their large. Or they might only have one size, because you have one price for drinks. This size is clearly not big enough. Maybe it's big enough for like a toddler. Who thinks that's going to be enough drink for somebody? That's obviously not enough drink for anybody. When I made this video before I started live streaming, which I'll upload when I get home. Basically, it's about how projection of each given function represents certain kinds of tyranny, the tyranny of NI, the tyranny of SI, of SE, of NE, of TE, FE, TI, and FI. I think I covered them all. Giving examples of what it looks like when someone's projecting their values, their function values, in a tyrannical way. But also just explaining how what you're going to perceive as tyrannical. Like, if you're an introverted, if you're extroverted intuition in the second slot, you're probably going to find extroverted sensing to be something of a tyrannical beast, always trying to prompt you to do things before you're done ideating. So accordingly, I would tend to think of FI as being tyrannical, and I do to some extent. Like, my doctors said, well, maybe I don't feel comfortable prescribing you Albuterol because it's not a mental health drug. Well, okay, but if really the issue here is whether you're comfortable with it or not, then it's completely arbitrary. Because, like, physical health and mental health are linked, obviously. And more importantly, it's like, I don't want to have to go jump through more hoops to get this one other drug that I need to get, albuterol. It shouldn't even be a prescription drug. And he doesn't want to prescribe it to me because he doesn't feel comfortable. That's just him being arbitrary, and that's the tyranny of FI in a nutshell, is arbitrariness. The tyranny of SI is easy to see. It's like, well, this is how we've always done it here. But don't you think this step right here is completely a waste of time and pointless, and just slowing everything? Look, we've done it this way for a long time, alright? We know how to do it. We're going to keep doing it this way. But you want to at least hear what I have to say about how you can easily make this better a lot? No, I don't. If it's not part of my experience already, I don't want to hear it. The tyranny of NI is the opposite. The presumption that as they intuit things, their ability to intuit things well means they don't need to. Means they consistently undervalue other people's experience and the value that confers upon things to them or to the world in general. Like, it's true that intuition is an objective knowing function, and sensing, inferred sensing, is a subjective knowing function, but that doesn't make it wrong. So, like, there's probably a reason why these protocols are in place. For example, at a workplace or something, they may not make any sense to you coming in right off the bat because you don't have access to sufficient experience regarding the thing for your intuition to be correct. You've not experienced the problem they experienced that caused them to put this protocol in place in the first place. So, the tyranny of intuition would be to undervalue other people's experience, or to undervalue familiarity as meaningful. Like, for example, Rachel tends to feel a little less secure perhaps in the relationship than I do. And I think it's because she's intuiting. She's always receiving in the moment information that she can intuit what it means. And accordingly, she's primed to intuit at any given moment signs that maybe our relationship isn't as happy as it seems to be or something. Whereas for me, I'm an SI type, so I assume the status quo is going to continue. I've gotten very accustomed to being in a healthy, happy relationship with Rachel, and I don't see any reason what's been happening should change. It's like experience. Whereas Rachel doesn't really trust her. We both have the same amount of experience in this relationship, and I think we both experienced it as close to as completely positive as a relationship can be, really. But she's not somebody who's receiving consciously information about her experience, retaining it, and having that inform her world paradigm. Instead, she's intuiting about the now going forward. You've got to let go of your past. That's another tyranny of it, I think. If you just let go of your past, everything will be fine. Well, if you have SI polar, maybe it's easy to not re-experience significant moments, traumatic moments, embarrassing moments, etc. But if you are SI higher up, if you're SI Dom, if you're SI conscious at all, it's literally impossible for you to follow that advice. It's like saying to somebody, you just need to try being about 6 inches shorter. Nobody can try that. It's not possible. Anyway, tyranny of TE is very obvious. Your worth is equal to your utility. And quit being a bad cog in my TE machine. I do tyranny of SE already. Yeah, it's just we need to do something. Doesn't matter what it is. We need to do something right now. Wait, we need to talk about it more. No, we need to let it off too late. It's already done. But we needed to talk about that. Too late. That's the tyranny of SE. Tyranny of extroverted intuition is okay, so we've talked about this. We're all in agreement. Let's do meow, right? But we haven't talked about this possibility, this possibility, this possibility, this possibility. So then you never get anything done. Everybody just talks and have endless meetings and accomplish nothing. Or Rachel was telling me how LCD Sound System, they apologize for doing the same shows every time, even though they don't play that often, because he's an INFJ guy. He expects of himself to validate on his fifth slot function and have something new for the people every time. Whereas people don't want that. They want what they're familiar with, and what they already know are a bunch of super great songs. They want to see the same set, They don't want him to play obscure shit, new stuff, or whatever. They want him to play his hits. They want him to play, expecting words. It happens all the time. They want to play that. They want to play North American Scum, and you wanted to hit, dance yourself clean tonight, and there's nothing that anybody can do about this. I sound like my mom. Goodness gracious, I sound like my mom. What a great band. Somebody should give them a gold star for greatness. I'm doing it right now, but I mean, an official person giving it an official gold star. All right. Would you guys like to look at something other than me now for a while? You guys want to look at the trees and stuff? There you go. Isn't that nice? So El Toro Loco Supermarket is over there. What that means is the crazy bull in Spanish. I don't know why you'd name a supermarket the Crazy Bull, but they did. Avenue 56 is coming up. You're probably asking yourself, what happened to Avenues 1 through 55? I'm not sure, but presumably we passed them already. Duker. I live in Duker. It's near Alpaw. Duker and Alpaw. You can access both those places from this exit here. So if you'd like to take your shot at a beautiful vacation in Duker, California, then you can Duker off the road right here. Background noise here right now because of the window being cracked, but smoking a cigarette, so deal with it. I might pull over in a little while and pull some bomb rips. I brought my bong with me and a jar of weed. We have enough weed, so we'll just have to wait till Monday to get those drinks. When I get home, which is going to be sooner than later, because the last trip I went to LA, the traffic was consistently horrible from the moment I entered the county until the moment I left the county. Every inch of the way it was terrible. Today, for God knows what reason, maybe I was a little later coming into town, but it was smooth sailing all the way in, all the way to the bank, all the way to the metal place, all the way back to the freeway, all the way back out of LA. I didn't really hit any traffic. So, also since I'm not going back for Merced, not making any stops other than the ones I've already made. Well, I mean, I'll stop at the Valero on the way back in to refill with gas again. But I should be back home. Should be back home. I don't know. Before 6 p.m., I'd guess. thinking maybe 5:15, 5:30. Pretty painless trip, really. Okay. And here we are. The Tulare Inn Motel is available at the next exit. It's both an inn and a motel. So, I don't know what extra stuff that gets you, but maybe it does get you like a pickle or something. A pickle and a bag of cashew nuts. Pixley. An interesting ad. I just saw a billboard for a company that will print your own personalized wine labels for you to put on existing bottles of wine. What? So like, you're gonna pretend like this is my own private winery. That's silly. I guess it's fine if it's like for a wedding or something. You want labels on all the wines that say like, you know, Rachel hearts Eric forever in marriage. Something like that. That'd be fine, I guess. It just seems kind of a strange thing to do. Even if they did that, I'd be like, do we get to see what kind of wine this is, though? Like, can't we actually look at the real label? Because, you know, wine drinkers normally want to know a little bit about what it is they're drinking. They want to know what kind of wine it is. But, you know, I say, oh, it's Eric wine. Just like the label says. But how did you get, like, did you grow the grapes? It's Eric wine. You do the math. Yes? It's just like Eric. Just give me it back. You don't even get his bottle of wine anymore. Stop asking me about my label. People. Then why did you put your own label? Different label! Okay? Just cruising along in the old Mini Cooper, wasting the day away. When I get home, I want to get digging. I need to plant those seedlings. Like, I could just plant them right in the ground right now, probably. Hope for the best. If they don't all survive, I've got more seeds coming in the mail. Actually, they might even be here today. They shipped, so I think they shipped yesterday or the day before. So I think we got enough food to last us through the weekend. I picked up a jug of non-dairy creamer at the supermarket that I passed on the way out of LA. So I figured, you know, we need to get through the weekend without going to the grocery store. So what do we really need? Well, we got enough frozen dinners to get us through and other stuff I can cook. But we have iced teas galore. We got a whole, I think, 24 pack of Brisks on the floor in there. But what we don't have is coffee creamer. And I don't really like drinking black coffee, and I like to drink a lot of coffee. So I said, okay, go get some coffee creamer. The other thing I had to get at the supermarket was antacid pills. So I got those two things. But with that coffee creamer and acid pills, we should be able to hunker down for the weekend. I know I have more than one pack of cigarettes. I've got an open pack around here somewhere. It's got some in it. I've got another unopened pack in my bag. I think I have a third unopened pack. I think I have a third pack also unopened at home. It probably wouldn't kill me to buy one more pack of cigarettes to be sure. I have the cash for that anyway, so I'm gonna have to stop at the Alero in Alani. I can get a pack of cigarettes there. Just pay cash for it. Obviously, I gotta put gas in the car, but you know, that's why we timed this the way we did, so that I have a cushion, you know. Corcoran, Cocoran. Is it Corcoran or Cocoran? I don't know what the second C sounds like. Tipton and Porterville. Go ahead and make your exit there on exit 76 and make your way to either Tipton or Porterville. Exit 77 coming up ahead is Avenue 152. Now, if you recall, I believe the previous avenue number we saw was like 50 something. What happened to the 100 avenues in between those two avenues? I don't know. I have no answer for you. I hate to leave you scratching your head without any resolution, but I have no explanation for you. I think I am going to. I can't take it. I don't even fucking drink. God damn it. Alright, I'm going to have to get off here and get a drink because I need to take some antacid pills. What kind of drink do I want to get? I might as well just get gas here too. I don't stop again. Granted, it means I'll have like maybe half a tank when I get home instead of mostly a full tank, but that's fine. I'll just get gas here and I'll go into their food mart and I'll get a drink and cigarettes and then we'll be all good to go. Let me pull the forward one like a good citizen. Oh, a window washing thing. I could wash my windows. That'd be pretty adult of me, huh? Alright. Where are my reading glasses? Now I'll be able to read what you have to say. Ta-da! Every HP you met has a desire to live forever. Do I have that desire? Yeah. I said on a live stream earlier on the way down, I'm not yet convinced that I'm going to die. I think it might all be a big hoax. It seems a reasonable conclusion. So. Alright, yeah, you guys can come with me. It's not going to be that exciting out there, but that's fine. Okay, here we go. No, this one's busted. Of course. Same exact thing happened to the Valero this morning. I pull forward to the front pump. It had that same exact symbol on it that says exception error. And I had to back up to the back pump. Or they don't have a sign alerting you to the fact that this is broken until you actually get up and try to look at it. All right. Well, I mean, tyranny is basically, in that context, ontological assault. You know, it's other people telling you you need to be different. It's reasonable to critique people's behavior and or their words, because those are things that people can fix, you know. It's not fair to critique somebody's nature, because it's not the case that their conflicting values mean there's something wrong with them. But I think almost all of us hear a lot from early childhood on, either mostly in implied ways rather than explicitly stated, but we're told there's something wrong with us. You know? We internalize that reality, that we are in some way not adequate. So when people project their function values, it tends to be an ontological projection. Like, there's something wrong with this person because they fundamentally pay attention wrong. Which is, of course, silly, but... Okay, well, that is, oh. I have to push the number 91. Otherwise, we won't know what kind of gas to put in. Let's go ahead and wash the windows. It'd be crazy. Wash the back window and the front. What a grown-up I am. Let me go get a wiper thing. All right. Good enough. Now let's do the front window. Alright. Pretty good. Good enough, I guess. Boy, I'm a real Peter Paul and pants fall down. Now it's time to go into the store. I'm gonna leave you guys in the car, I guess. Put up all the legs again. Should never have been taking you out of the car in the first place. Alright, now unlock the car, put you in here, and I'll be right back. Good for Chevron. They've got these signs up here that say nearly 25% of your gas money goes to state taxes and fees. Thanks, California. You're a real lamb. I'm doing some laundry, lying in bed, looking at makeup. Probably gonna make a salad. How about you, Caroline? What are you up to? She's riding the bucking bronc in the rodeo today. What people don't know about Caroline is she's a hardcore rodeo athlete. She rides bucking broncs, sure, but she also rides the bucking bulls. She refuses to wear a helmet because that's sissy shit. So that's what she's doing today. She's gonna hang on with one hand for 8 seconds. Then she's gonna do calf roping. She's gonna rope some calves. Because in the status quo, the calves are inadequately roped. Let me put your seatbelt on so you stay put. Yeah, that's better. Caroline also keeps a large collection of live leeches from around the world. She's a passionate advocate for the use of leeches in medicine. She says, it may sound old-fashioned to you, but it feels like a life-giving help to me. That's why you'll usually see Caroline with at least several leeches on her. It's just how she rolls. She often approaches people like, don't even worry. Yeah, I know I have a leech on me. In fact, this is what I call a teachable moment. Let's talk a little bit about how bad humors in your blood cause illness and disease, and how leeches can remove those bad humors and make everything A-okay. That's why she's so healthy. Daily leechings. I don't think there's any amount of leeches in the world that can cure me of my fundamental erickiness. Which, sometimes is fine, and sometimes it's like, why do I have to be Eric? What a horrible thing to be. It really depends on my mood. But I tell you what's going to make my mood a little bit better. That's right. Antacid pills. I got the 42 pack of omeprazole. Oh, there's 3 14 packs. They just put 3 14 packs in this, and that's their 42 pack. But it's substantially cheaper than buying 3 14 packs. I checked the prices and stuff, so. Per unit, it's substantially cheaper. So we're going to take one of these, maybe 2 of them. These must supposedly dissolve in your mouth. It tastes like strawberry. They do. It tastes like strawberry. And probably, I'm assuming, yeah, they do dissolve in your mouth as well. That's kind of nice. Melts in your mouth. Sorry, it doesn't dissolve in your mouth, it melts in your mouth. Oh, you guys with your ways. Stop them from falling over already. That should help. Okay, I'm taking one of those. I didn't even need any drink to take that one. This one I'll need a drink to take. It's 90 tablets of famotidine. Oh, this is the one that comes in the bottle. Are there really 90 tablets in here? Yes, there are. That's weird, because this box looks like it holds 2 of these, right? It says 90 tablets, and there are 90 tablets in here. I'd expect there to be 2 bottles of 45, but no. Okay, well, that's fine. I'll take one of these. Oh, too many of them. Take one of these first. If I need another one, then I'll take it later. My mom was a big fan of this kind of iced tea. Even to the very end of her dementia, she'd be like, pure relief. She liked it so much. So I should be back in plenty of time for the evening basketball game. That's nice. I missed the daytime ones. I'm sure I missed some good upsets, but we'll see what the evening brings. I'm gonna have to dig in the backyard, really, first thing, maybe. Those seedlings they're outgrowing their little seed starting tray pretty quickly. I don't really want to do an intermediate stage, so I think I'm going to just, start the trough, go down enough for all the seedlings that I have. I try to make the trough fairly deep. I only got 4 bags of steer manure blend, so that should be enough for 7 plants, though, I think. I gave them a little bit of actual sunshine yesterday after they've been inside under the lights in the kitchen heretofore. They seemed a little overwhelmed by it, maybe, but we all survived. Yeah, I'm just going to get those into the ground, and I'm going to just assume that the last frost has passed us. And, if I'm wrong and it looks like it's going to get super cold one night, I can always put something over them if they're not too big yet, and that'll be fine. If they are big, then they'll probably be able to handle it. But if I just put anything like that could function as a roof over them, even if it's cold outside, if they're not like open to the air directly above them, then they stay warmer. I could construct some kind of makeshift cover if need be, if it looks like we're going to get another freezing spell before spring. So next stop should be home, because I don't need to stop in Awani for gas anymore. Got everything I need. Got a drink. I should have pulled a bong rip at the gas station, but that's fine. I can do that now. It should be undercover. Some traffic here, a little bit of a slowdown. That's okay. Can't expect any trip to LA and back to be completely traffic free. This one's been more or less. It's crazy. I was shocked by how little traffic there was going in, and then coming out there was traffic the way I had come from, but not the way I was going. So that was kind there. Hopefully that solves that problem. I got a cut on my finger in a bad place where I keep hitting it on things. I was sitting in my chair and I was trying to cut apart 2 pieces of frozen sourdough bread, and I failed to follow my own rule and cut myself. My own rule is, of course, always cut away from yourself. But in this case, I wasn't really trying to cut, right? I was trying to pry open, and the thing slips through and I cut myself. But it's okay. cut there, but it's gonna be okay. I don't think it's fatal. I mean, I haven't asked the doctor, but it's my, uneducated guess. Obviously, only a doctor is enough of an expert to know if this cut is fatal or not. I take the idea of staying in my lane seriously. Hillman Street, Prosperity Avenue, coming up in half a mile. Oh, and look, more road work. How fun. I bet it's not really any road work, though. I'm sure it's just cones and empty machines. That's what they mean by road work ahead. They mean, coming up soon, you can see a lot of cones and some stuff that presumably is underway. But you're not going to actually see any work being done. Oh, end road work. Well, where was the road work? There weren't even any cones or anything. You cone putters need to stop being so full of yourselves. Oh, I'm putting cones over here. Everybody has to drive around me. Just knock it off, cone putters. Nobody wants that. I think you know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is enough with the cone putting, right? If you're going to be good at your job, you'll get that thing fixed without me even knowing you had been there. Just like, bam, show up middle of the night, hammer it out in a couple hours. It takes longer than that to build a road, Eric. Yeah, for losers who don't try hard, maybe. I could build a road in like 5 minutes. Just put down some dirt. Put down some other stuff. Apply heat. You're done. Simple. Where I wouldn't even have to put any cones at all. I just remake this whole highway between cars driving. And no one would even know how it had gotten fixed or when it got fixed or by whom. That's what I want Caltrans to do. That's clogged. You're always judging me for my cloggy bong. Stop being so judgy. It's okay to be judgy. I'm judgy. Therefore, must be okay. I'm judgy. Close relative of Judge Judy. Welcome, fries. Go around me. I'm not fast lane. If you want to go faster than me, get over in the fast lane. He did. He obeyed me. So that's good. There's just him right there. Like, you need to go faster. Like, fuck off, dude. I'm in the middle lane. Alright, good. I've finally accomplished something of value today. Okay. We shall scrimp and save grandchildren on your knee. Vera, Chuck, and Dave. So we're cruising along, making good time, finding our way back home. Like the swallows returning to Capistrano. Like the geese flying south for the winter. I too, migrating from my old home back up to my real home. They say home is where the heart is, but I think home is the house you live in. I don't know, call me crazy. They say silence is golden, but I say silence is sound free. I don't know. Different strokes for different folks is what they say. But I say different people, different stuff. Welcome to Visalia. I'm from Visalia. I'm from Visalia. I'm from Visalia. Yeah, we know you're from Visalia. This is Visalia. Over there, anyway. Visalia. I wouldn't even know how to get to Visalia if I had a compass with an arrow on it that had the word Visalia on it. I still wouldn't know how to get there. I wouldn't want to get there anyway. I'm from Visalia. I'm from Visalia. I'm not really from Visalia. But you know, Visalia, it's alright. It's a place around here. Presumably it's alright. I've never actually been to Visalia. Driven by the exit that says Visalia that way. I've seen pictures of Visalia. But I don't have any compelling urge to go to Visalia, really. The only reason I have any interest at all in Visalia is because of that song about Visalia. She's from Visalia! Goshen. Now we're in Goshen. Next exit anyway is Goshen. Sounds like a Japanese character name. But instead, it's a town right here in California Central Valley. Isn't that wonderful? Experiencing a little bit of the Orient right here at home. So we're passing Betty Drive, named after famous celebrity Betty. She was the Cher of her day. When people said Betty, you knew who they were talking about. There's no need for a last name. But what a lot of people don't realize about Cher is her first name. I mean, Cher is her last name. That's her last name. Her first name is Sunny Ann. 14 miles to Kingsburg. This morning I stopped at Kingsburg to get some McDonald's, which I ate with my mouth, which made me feel a lot better. Coffee as well. I brought this ice from home, but it was frozen solid this morning when I left the house. I mean, it was like completely frozen. So it wasn't much use because it wasn't very drinkable for quite a while. Now it's unfrozen, but it tastes like diluted because I guess the parts that are less purely water melted first, and I drank those, and so hold your hand while I kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. You know that I'll always be true. And now when I'm away, I'll ride home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you. All my loving I will send to you. All my loving, darling, yeah, it's true. All my loving, all my loving, ooh, all my loving, I will send to you. What are you gonna sing next, Eric? Oh gosh, gosh almighty, I just don't know. Own the keys, ownacar.com. Ownacar.com. Irrigation matters, that sign says. Sounds good. I didn't know that people needed to raise awareness regarding irrigation, but I guess you do. For all those of you out there who thought irrigation doesn't matter, it matters, okay? It matters a lot. Maybe it's time you get your priorities straight. Some progress. I've got a guy behind me. Let me get past this truck and I'll get over. Home fries. Don't you worry your pretty little head about it. Alright, good. Now I've pulled over to this lane. I can just kind of chillax at the speed at which I'm comfortable. What speed is that? 10 miles per hour. Here on the highway, I believe I should be able to go 10 miles an hour, and everybody just accept that that's the speed I feel like going. I don't want to hear your honk, 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 get out of my way, what are you doing, you idiot, stuff. This is how I roll. Sometimes on the highway, I feel like going 150. Sometimes I feel like going 10 miles an hour. And, you know, I'm going to be authentic to my subjectivity. So, you can all just go fuck yourself. I'm not accepting this ticket. And that's how I got out of that ticket. Everybody agreed. They said, well said, sir, well said. Tore up the ticket. And then they scolded the cop who wrote it. Couldn't you tell? This gentleman not in need of your tickets. Bravo Farms is here. It's kind of like a farm farm slash carnival slash something like fair kind of. I don't know. It's like it's intended to be a farm themed thing that you stop at if you have a family with children. Right? You're at a petting zoo, stuff like that. I've never actually been there, but I believe that to be what it is. And it's got also these like a little old west town. So your kid can go look at the old west buildings. It's kind of all right up against the highway, so I don't know how old west that's going to feel. As you hear nothing but the sound of cars zooming by. 26 miles to Fresno, wow. I am making great time today. Someone should give me an award and or a prize. At the very least, I deserve a certificate of recognition for outstanding effort in the field of excellence. So Fresno, 26 miles, that puts me home in about 2 hours, so a little before 6. I was hoping I might get home a little sooner than that, but that's fine. I guess I underestimated what time I was going to get home by a substantial amount, because I told Rachel I'll probably be home around 6. But this trip went as smoothly as it could go, and it's been very quick. No extra stops, just straight down and back, you know. I was efficient in consolidating all my things. Like, okay, let me get this stuff at this supermarket right here that's right before the freeway on ramp, so I don't have to mess around with it somewhere else. Like when I stopped at that Chevron station to get a drink, I was just like, well, let me just fill up on gas here too now, and I won't have a full tank of gas when I get home, but it'll be good enough. That's called good TE. Consolidating things like that. If I had had better TE, I would have gotten a drink at the Bonds. But I had just gotten my meal, not maybe like 5 or 10 minutes before then. It was the thing I had just driven away from before I drove into the Bonds parking lot. And accordingly, I overestimated or just didn't think about the amount of drink that I had and whether that was going to be adequate. It was clearly going to be inadequate. Kingsburg, Swedish Village is coming up next. Here in California, we force all the Swedish people to live in Kingsburg. It's kind of like an internment camp for Swedes. Where champions swim and dreams come true. What is a swimming pool? That is correct. That billboard was very poorly put together. All you could read on it was where swimming, yeah, and dreams come true. I couldn't read the brand or whatever it was advertising at all. And there was a picture of some people in swimsuits with their arms crossed like this. What's that an ad for? I have no idea. I know we're in Sanger. Which is the first city inside of Fresno County. That's right, everybody. Welcome to Fresno County. Home to beautiful Fresno and surrounding areas. Oh, okay, I hear you. You're poo-pooing the idea that Fresno is a nice place. Well, have you ever been to Fresno? I have. And I would not say it was a nice place. But that's beyond the point here. The point is, shouldn't we give Fresno as much benefit of the doubt as we can? I've only seen a little part of Fresno. I'm sure it's much, much, much worse than the rest of Fresno. If you want to be my lover, you gotta move to Fresno. I know you don't want to, but you got to go. Like your dream mate. Perfect in every way. And they're like, and you're like, yes, I will move to you and live with you because you're so wonderful. And he's like, I live in Fresno. She's like, oh, Fresno. I see. You know what? Why don't we talk tomorrow? We don't need to rush into anything. No, but I live in the good part of Fresno. Okay, well, like I said, I'll call you later. Fresno's not really that horrible. I bet I've not spent much time there, but I got my wedding suit yet, and I found selection. And prices were good down in Fresno, down Fresno way. Now there's songs about New York, and there's songs about LA, and there's songs about Dukinski and Dubois. But there ain't no song that I know yet about the greatest town, the best. That is the place that they call Fresno. It's not Fres rain, no, it's not Fres sunshine. It's Fresno, and that's okay, you're mine. Welcome to the land of truth, where grapes and agriculture too. It's Fresno, Fresno calling you. Come, join us in Fresno for all the fun and adventure that you can handle. That's my pitch to the Fresno Advisory Board, Fresno Tourism Advisory Board. I suggest they use that as their advertising song. But they asked me to submit a couple different options, so I also gave them a cheer, F-R-E-S, and O, what's the place? It's called Fresno, F-R-E-S-N-O, what is the place? It's called Fresno. There's that one. There's one that's more in the, like, I guess you could call canonical music style. Oh, Fresno, I gave them a lot of choices. In the end, they said, who are you and why are you giving us these songs? I said, but, get out of here, you. They told me. I said, is it because I'm bald? They said, no, it's because we don't want any songs. So, I had to leave. Turns out they didn't want any songs. I know what you think. How could anybody not want any songs? I don't know. I was saying, hey, you can buy these songs from me relatively cheap, you know. Fresno still didn't want any of my songs. It's like, Fresno, look at yourself. You need to do something to zazz things up around here. How about a couple of catchy tunes? Fresno, 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 Fresno. Fresno, 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 Fresno. That's a good one. What is the freshest place that I know? It's R-F-E-R. It's F-R-E-S-N-O. Or what is the freshest place I know? It's called What is the freshest place I know? It's called F-R-E-S-N-O. What's it? What is the freshest place I know? It's called F-R-E-S-N-O. It's Fresno. It stands for fresh, you know. That's why it's called the Fresno. You should go to Fresno right now. They said that one. They also didn't like it and didn't want it. And at that point they called security. I said, but I've got more Fresno songs for you. They didn't want them. I gave them a sad one. Oh, Fresno. Oh, Fresno. Don't turn me asunder. Don't turn me aside. I love you so much, Fresno. Don't be so snide. They didn't want that one. I said, go to Fowler. Why don't you try to Fowler and offer them some songs? I said, I'm not inspired by Fowler. I'm inspired by you, Fresno. We're in Fowler now. Presumably named after Mr. Fowler? I don't know. Or Mrs. Fowler. Could have been named after Mrs. Fowler. Could just be a misspelling of flower. They wanted to call the town Flower, but whoever wrote it down couldn't spell. So it was Fowler ever since. That's pure, baby. Some pure leaf, no sugar tea. Quite thirst quenching. Iced tea is. It's like pretty much the same thirst quenchiness as water. I think you have to say water is the most thirst quenching beverage. But I mean, I'm willing to field negations of that claim. I'm not sure how I can firmly defend it, but it would seem if you got to pick one thing to be the gold standard for thirst quenchiness, water would be the logical choice. Like, obviously, water is more thirst quenching than, say, milk or buttermilk. Ah, that's refreshing. Tall glass of buttermilk. Beer is very thirst quenching too. I mean, like non-alcoholic beer. Alcoholic beer, I guess it's thirst quenching, but then it makes you dehydrated. There's a palm reader. Madame Sophia. She's got quite a little setup there. Well, I death flagged myself with the traffic thing, bragging about how there hadn't been any traffic. Now here we are, running straight into the heart of Fresno's rush hour. And feeling a little bit foolish. What the hell's going on? Is there an accident or what? Hello, shark tits, my old friend. I want your shark tits once again. Even though they are all wet and slimy, they are still the only shark tits for me. Because shark tits are very rarely found thing underground. shark tits. This Shark Week After Dark on Discovery, we get the steamy and sensual side of shark tits. The title of the show, Shark Tits. It's about a shark who's got big tits and feels kind of out of place among the other shark women who mock her as mermaid-esque. You're mermaid-esque, they'll say, but in a taunting tone. The rest of us sharks have just little tits. What's wrong with you, sharky tits? And then they all taunt, shark tits, shark tits. You are shark tits. And shark tits says, swims away. She runs across, a nice man shark. And he's like, hey, why are you crying? So, all of the ladies were taunting me. Really? What about? My eyes are up here. Oh, sorry. What about? Well, it's about my shark tits. Well, can I look at them now? Go ahead. Yeah, they seem fabulous to me. I'm all in favor of your shark tits. I don't know. I think those other ladies are just jealous. Jealous, huh? Yep. You know what would make them even more jealous? What? If you had sex with me, then I would show you how popular. I'd show them how popular you are. Popular? Well, with me. It sounds to me like you've got ulterior motives here, mister. Well, look, you do have an amazing pair of shark tits. No reason to let them go to waste. Yeah, okay, I guess you're right. Shark tits, activate! Slut power, engage! And that's the story of Shark Tits, the Slutty Shark. I hope you enjoyed it. These are the golden moments that go so tragically underappreciated. These are the golden moments of my life. And yet, they only are ever as golden as they are validated by externalities. I mean, it's not really true in the sense that I can firmly affirm certain statements about certain things. Grossman injury lawyers. Hey now, you're a rock star. You have to come to a complete stop. You shouldn't even be in this lane. All the other lanes are moving. Well, boo failure, boo, a boo failure. If there was justice in the world, like major TV channels be battling to make a deal with me to excerpt good parts of the live streams and use them as content on their show. Today, Eric made this brilliant remark, but instead nobody cares. For a few people, and I appreciate the people who do care. But of course, the reason nobody does that is because, you know, I guess there's not enough of a market for. There's not enough market response for what I provide. In the presumably meritocratic space of YouTube, it fails to gather momentum, grow, etc. in its current incarnation. So why would anybody else think that it would do otherwise in some other incarnation? I like to imagine a world that's more Eric friendly. Or it's not like the world's not Eric friendly. I could just say more enthusiastic about Eric. Like ideally, everywhere I went, I hear somebody saying to their friend, "Did you hear what Eric said today on his podcast?" No, what? It was so insightful / hilarious. Here's what it was. That's FE third right there. I'm stuck behind a dually on Highway 99, and I stuck behind you, dually, and said you're with my ride, and I can't ignore the feeling in my heart in my soul when my liver is on top of my kidney. Speeding up a bit. Hopefully it's gonna not just go slow down again. Probably it will, but we'll enjoy this bit of 55 mile per hour pace for as long as it lasts. Come on, traffic. We're officially in Fresno now. This is the Fresno city limit sign. Heading down a Fresno way to search me for a garden. I got to buy a little truck or tractor for my garden. Yeah, Fresno is a place with plenty of herbicide I can buy. Fungus don't be stand no chance in Fresno, 'cause the stuff we put on plants in Fresno, yeah. That was another song I offered to the Fresno Advisory Committee. Again, they didn't want it. He said, "What can we do to get you to stop coming here?" I said, "Use one of my songs." They said, "No, we can't do that. How about you have this?" And then they handed me a fake leg. It was like made out of flowers, right? But this was fake flowers. There, you satisfied? We go away now? I guess. If you look great as a prize for my songs. Okay, we'll agree to that. This lay is a prize for your songs. Now go away. So I left, but at least I got a prize for my songs. I threw it away because it was pretty cheap and shabby and well used by the time I got it. But hey, prize is a prize. Basically, it's almost the same thing as an award, which is like almost the same thing as acknowledging your genius. So basically, Fresno made a declaration of my genius. I guess my songs were just too good for them. They didn't want to sully my songs with the name of Fresno. I'm tired. I didn't feel tired until about 5 minutes ago. Suddenly hit me like, oh, I'm tired. We're out of the Fresno traffic though, mostly, hopefully, because we're here on 41, which takes us into Madera County, and after that into Mariposa County, home of Eric and Rachel. Land of glorious meow meow. There we go. We made it past that truck successfully without crashing. I think I might want one more of those antacid pills. I still feel a little stomach acid. The iced tea is probably contributing a bit to that as well. But really, it's just, I get stomach acid so much. It's annoying, but I do. I don't like to call it heartburn. I don't know why exactly. It's just because it seems like such an inaccurate name, I guess. You're not actually burning your heart. Alright, took another one of these things. There's a dually in front of me. We're not on Highway 99 anymore. It doesn't preclude dualies. I listen for your footsteps coming up the drive. I listen for your footsteps, but they don't arrive. And that you would be late in a day or two. It's alright, I'll be waiting here, just waiting to hear from you. That's one that next time we play like covers on the guitar, I want to remember to play that. That's a good one. Don't pass me by, don't make me cry, don't make me blue. Because you know, darling, I love only you. Well, we do have a bit more traffic here. It's the 41. It does cut through some of the neighborhoods of Fresno on its way out of the county here, including Fresno City College, which if you wish to visit there, you can do so at the next exit, which is exit 129, Fresno City College. It's going to be McKinley Avenue to get off on. Make sure to drive carefully, as college-aged children may be running around the streets, chasing their liberal arts degrees around. I really thought it was safe. Like, you know, once I got out of LA that far up to 99, I figured, well, I'm just not going to get hit any traffic at this point. More or less never hit traffic through here. but I don't normally come through here at rush hour, so. And I would say that 4:25 definitely counts as rush hour. But you know, Fresno doesn't have a big traffic problem. It does have times of day where you get more traffic, like right now, I guess. I haven't seen anything else to account for the traffic besides the time of day. No, I haven't seen any accident or anything. Next exit, Veterans Hospital. Don't worry, you don't have to be a veteran to receive medical treatment there. It's just called Veterans Hospital. We are at Shields Avenue, exit 130. As we slowly, gradually, painfully make our way out of Fresno. On your left, see the Regal Cinema 16, one of the popular locations to see feature films here in Fresno. There we go. Okay, now we are able to cruise control it because traffic's moving pretty smooth. I'm at 70 at the moment. I see brake lights up ahead. Wishful thinking on my part. Oh, okay. Next up is Jeff Shaw Avenue. It's actually just Shaw Avenue, but Jeff Shaw will forever go down in CWFE history as a villain of lore, you know. I've had various villains coming in with, you know, more or less active nefarious intent. But I have people come in and try to like steal my audience by starting their own channel and coming over here to recruit people to go to their channels. And of course, it never works because it takes a certain kind of person to be able to do what I'm doing right now, which is just generating content without even having the chat to engage off of, because I can't read the chat while I'm driving. It's an extroverted intuition kind of a thing, and it's certainly plausible for extroverted intuition third to carry on indefinitely about something because they are lacking in concision fundamentally and don't understand which things are related but not relevant. But that kind of content is probably not going to be particularly interesting for anybody to listen to because it lacks a thesis often, and it doesn't attempt to convey things that are resonant necessarily. You'll see an anti-polar person conveying a lot of detail and not really having clarity about which details need to be included and which can be omitted for better concision. So I mean, those type of people could certainly do this, but my point would be, it probably wouldn't be interesting to anybody who is in my audience to listen to, because it's going to be it's going to be pretty dull, I think. I know my dad was pretty good with his antipolar at conveying stories about historical events like, well, in the Battle of blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. My mom would always say to him, David, you're telling us more about penguins than we want to know. But, what he didn't do a good job of at all is listening and engaging with comments or questions that somebody had. In this current situation, I'm also not engaging at all with the chat. That's just because I can't read the chat right now. Normally I would be engaging with it. Or sometimes the chat has very little to say, and there aren't very many people here. There's only 4 or 5 people here, and once in a while somebody says something, then I still have to freestyle quite a bit on what I feel like talking about. So the thing is, it's an absolute value for me, just as it is for ESTJ or ESFJ. But the difference is, I'm interested in engaging ideas for the purpose of resolution. Whereas I think ESTJs and ESFJs don't really get the concept of resolution except as attaining outcomes, right? Rather than conceptual resolution of questions. They seem to believe questions to be endlessly open, and you can always add another thing and it still be the same thing, There's that quality implicit to antipolar. But I don't remember where I was going with that, if anywhere. I guess I'm about ready to end the stream and just settle in for the last part of this trip here through the mountains where I'll have limited connectivity. So maybe I'll stream again when I get home. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm starting to feel pretty tired. But we are 36 miles from Oakhurst and 52 from Yosemite Park. So call it 45 minutes from home. Or if I get in a little while, if you're still here. For the rest of you been here, thank you so much for that, and hope you enjoyed my music.